Hello guys, welcome to the Mythic Tavern, and today I'm going to be giving you a tour guide on one of the brand new dungeons in World of Warcraft Dragonflight, the Nokhud Offensive. It's a pretty cool area, quite different in terms of how you find mobs or get to the mobs and bosses, very open, using a whole zone called Arana Ruins, which is a leveling zone in Dragonflight and whatnot. So it's pretty unique. This is not an actual guide on how to do this dungeon, even though I do explain some basic mechanics and things like that. All the Mythic Plus stuff that will come in later when it's actually live or close to retail or whatever. So with that being said, guys, make sure you like, subscribe if you enjoy this type of content, and if you do subscribe, you get a lot of good loot in your vaults. And if you don't, well, I don't know. That's probably not a good idea. Probably get you really bad luck. So with that being said, guys, do your choice wisely. And with that being said, enjoy the video, and I will see you soon for more content. Alright guys, here we go, Nokhud Offensive Tour Guide. So this is a very big instance. It's basically the entire zone from Dragonflight called Arana Ruins. And yeah, you can Dragonride in here, which is really cool. And use these, vents or whatever, wind thingies to, get around and have enough speed and stuff like that. And of course, use momentum as always. So it is literally the entire zone. The trash here is very interesting. This is a very different dungeon. It's a super open-ended dungeon. There's no new assets in here other than the bosses, I guess you could say, and just a bunch of centaurs. So it's an interesting take on a dungeon. So we come over here to the first boss, but I think you can go to any boss that you want, really. I don't think there's a specific order. This is just the first one that we went to. And you want to come in here and clear out the little things where the catapults are, or the ballista looking things, because you're gonna need that to fight the boss. So we're coming in here. I'm playing as a blood DK called Tyrion with a pirate Mog, which obviously completely fits the blood look and all that. But anyway, with that being said, yeah, we're just coming in here, wrecking these centaurs. I gotta say, the new centaurs models look awesome. They're pretty cool. I really like them. Do I like this dungeon? What do I really think of this so far of what I played? I've done this dungeon maybe 2 or 3 times. Probably gonna do it one more time. Just to see how I feel about it in the end. But this is a level 70 heroic on a max level 70 character with all the talents that you can get. So they've updated the alpha build and all that. So now you can create a pre-made level 70 and stuff like that. We do have a person disconnected. So right now it's a 4-man group, 2 healers. 1 healer, 2 DPS, and a tank. Me being the tank. If you guys are looking for really good tanking gameplay here, I don't think you're gonna find it. I'm actually new to Blood DK, so bear with me on that. But I am enjoying it after playing a warrior for 7 years. I'm probably gonna play both. Anyway, this is about the dungeon here. So, how do I feel about the layout and just things like that? Because it's not your regular dungeon. Go kill this boss in this area, or walk through this thing and kill these mobs. I mean, yeah, you gotta kill mobs in here, but the point is, this is not your traditional dungeon. It's using a zone that exists in Dragonflight that you're gonna level through. An instant version of it, obviously, with a bunch of centaurs. I mean, the whole storyline in that zone is based on centaurs anyway, so it makes sense. But I don't know, man. It's really interesting. I don't know if I like this dungeon or if I don't like this dungeon. All I'm gonna say is that I think it's an interesting dungeon. It's definitely very different from things that we're used to before, because you can go anywhere, basically. The only thing that I didn't really get to test is, can you go to the last boss at the beginning or not? Because if you can, that will be really interesting. But I don't know if that's possible. I'll have to check that out. But either way, the fact that you can dragon ride in here, I think is really cool. It breaks the pacing of traditional dungeons. It's something fresh and new that we haven't done before, so I do commend them on trying some new ideas with dungeons. I don't know if this idea is going to take off here. I mean, it makes sense here because, it takes place in this area. I guess they didn't want to make a dedicated thing. But anyway, so here we are. We're going to fight this boss. And he's like a stone dragon, really cool looking Drake. Kind of reminds me of one of those monsters from Monster Hunter. Baroth, I think. Yeah, it's kind of what he reminds me of, because he's all rocky and stuff. So as you can imagine, he does stone elemental thingies. So yeah, it's a pretty cool boss. But we actually end up wiping here because, we don't really know the mechanics of him that well yet. I specifically don't actually know the mechanics of his, other than stay out of some stuff, and this will show you that none of us knew the mechanics here, except for one guy, because the only one guy was able to call it out, and then when we did it the second time, We killed him, and I'm not gonna skim through this so you guys can just see how we wipe here. But so he does this thing. You want to get away from that. That's kind of obvious. And then he's also gonna do a breath. And when he does the breath, he goes into like this weird mode. Yeah, it's this spell right here. And then he just does this ticking dot non-stop like this, like a wave, wide range, party damage, rate damage, whatever. And what you need to do is, we didn't know, or at least I didn't, and other people didn't, except for one person, like I said. And what you need to do is you need to go to the catapults that are around him and hit him with a catapult to stun him. And then he goes, like, he gets dazed, and then you just nuke him down. Very easy boss. I would argue pretty much a tank and spank for the most part. But yeah, this aspect right here, as I was saying, you know, you spawn in, you get on your dragon, and you instantly just get back to where you were. Yeah, I think it's really cool, the fact that you can fly in a dungeon like this. Definitely a first time. Absolutely very interesting. Never done before. So yeah, I gotta commend them on that creativity. Some people will say that, oh, they're being lazy because they're reusing a zone, they're not making any new models or art assets. And I mean, yeah, you could argue that, but I mean, at least it makes sense lore-wise. And if they don't need to do new assets for this dungeon, then why do it if it can work like this? And I don't know. What I am curious about the most in for Nokhud Offensive is the mob density in terms of mob percentage for Mythic Plus. Because, like, you see those patrols here, you don't really need to fight them. I guess if you want to be safe, because I decided to be safe here, I'm like, let's kill them just in case. You don't really need to, but, you know, I wanted to get bloodthirsty. Haha, get it? Blood DK bloodthirsty. Oh my god, I'm so smart. But yeah, so that's the thing, right? It's like, how's the mob density gonna work here with the mob percentage and all that in Mythic Plus? I think that's really the biggest challenge of this dungeon. I love, you know, Mythic Plus, as you guys know. KSM is, you know, my thing. I don't really care about pushing high rating. I personally don't really care for rating. I just care for the KSM. I enjoy that aspect. Once you know, I get KSM or whatever, that's pretty cool. I'm pretty happy. And of course, gear's good too. So here we go again. We're gonna fight him, and we're gonna kill him this time, and it's gonna be peace easy. So yeah, like, how is the mob percentage gonna work here? Like, what boss are you gonna go to first for your optimal path? I have no idea whatsoever. But at the end of the day, you gotta kill all of them anyway, so it doesn't really matter where you go. I don't know. Maybe there is one, because I know there's one boss where there's a lot of mobs around them. So maybe there you might want to go first to get all the mobs that you can, and then just go to the other bosses and kill the things that you need to kill to activate the boss. In this case, it was the 3 catapult thingies. Yeah, there we go. He just got stunned, and now he's dazed, and now you just finish him off. And yeah, this for the most part was a 4-man run. I don't know what happened to the guy. I think he got DC'd. So, oh well, who cares? It's a heroic 4-man group. It's you know, easy to do anyway. And, you know, we didn't let the DC stop us, so we killed him. I don't think he dropped anything for me, so now we're gonna go to the other boss. And yeah, I think it's the Elemental Storm boss, who I would argue probably has some nasty trash. I'm gonna say that for this dungeon, I don't think Tyrannical is gonna be a problem, because some of the mobs in here are really nasty. Not the ones that we just fought, but the ones that we're gonna go to later are pretty gnarly. And here we go. You know, this is a good way to showcase Dragonriding, because it works the same way as it does in your regular zones. You know, you use these wind things to get yourself up. Kind of reminds me of the thing from Elden Ring, where you get on your horse and you just get boosted up when you jump on it. Kind of like the same idea. Except we use dragons and not horses. But yeah. So we're just making our way. Like, can you imagine if you had to walk? It would be horrible. No one would ever make the timer. Like, most of the dungeon would just be walking instead of fighting, which would be really boring. So yeah, I do think it's a good change of pace. At first, when I did this dungeon, I'll be very honest, I kind of didn't like that. I don't know why. Maybe because I'm so used to traditional dungeons. But you know what? Sometimes you just gotta try out the new stuff, and you never know, man. You know, don't knock until you try it, I guess. So I'm gonna fight this thing here because it's in the way, and these mobs hit pretty hard. But we're gonna heal back up. I hope you can get that as a mount, because that looks pretty cool. It's like a lizard thingy, crocodile berserker, lizard crab raptor. I don't know, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, it looks pretty cool. Kind of reminds me of like a Kodo mixed with a lizard. Yeah, I mean, he's literally mounted on him, so I wouldn't be surprised if you could get a mount here or something. I don't know. Maybe one of the drakes drops a glyph or something for your dragon riding customization. Who knows? There's a lot of dragons here, so it's a dragon expansion, obviously. So in here, you gotta clear out these elemental totems to activate the boss in the middle to the right. You can't see him, but he's on that little rock thing that is to the right of me. But yeah, these mobs are pretty nasty, as you guys can tell, and you need to interrupt the Stormbolt that they do. I can only interrupt so much, you know, and I don't think you can hard CC them, though. I think they're immune, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. But I know you can interrupt them. So you can just, you know, it's not important to interrupt on Heroic, but, you know, Mythic Plus, you're gonna want to have a rotation for those storm interrupts. So we killed one of them. Now we're gonna go to the second. I think there's 4 or 5 here. And like I said, these are mandatory packs for you to activate the boss, and they're marked on your map as yellow circles to tell you who you need to kill to, you know, to activate the boss, which is nice. Yeah. And in here, I'm trying to nuke this thing down. I really hate my transmog for Blood EK. Sadly, they didn't have anything else. And that thing is dead too. Another cool thing here is that, like, you can go over these mobs with your dragons like that guy did. So he was thinking we're gonna go over there, and yeah, we are, but I was, you know, me being a tank, I like to be safe, so I just wanted to pull them just in case so nobody else pulls them, because you know how it is. One guy, like, everyone flies off, and then that one guy gets confused and ends up pulling the thing, and then we're gonna wipe. Like, I don't like doing that, so I was just like, just kill him, man, we'll just walk over there. It's not a big deal. I mean, on, like I said, on Mythic Plus, you're most likely gonna be killing all of these packs here, because you're gonna need your percentage. Again, I don't know how they're gonna do the percentages here, so we're not gonna really know until we get to play it, which is gonna be really interesting. Really curious to see that. But yeah, here's another pack. I'm going in. I think I'm gonna activate my ruins here, maybe not, or dancing ruin sword rather. Yeah, I'm not playing very well here, so I'm just trying to stay alive and still learning your blood EK. But yeah, I think I messed up my interrupt there. I used it when he already casted it, and then the other one started going afterwards, so it completely got I don't know, not usable, basically wasted. And these guys, they don't really have health. You take down their shields and then they die, which is really nothing really new, but kind of I guess a different mob for a change. So over here, I'm gonna fly over to this side because I want to pull from this side. This, I think, is just really cool. The fact that you can get on your dragon and kind of manipulate your path or whatever, change your pathway on how you want to approach these mobs, these bosses or whatever. I think that's a really cool aspect that, like I said, we have never seen before in World of Warcraft. So pretty cool stuff. And in here, you know, these mobs are hitting pretty nasty. So I don't have any crafted gear. This is default gear with pre-made level 70 character. So there's that. And yeah, we're just wrecking the crap out of them. So pretty, I mean, easy so far. But you could definitely tell that these mobs are gonna be pretty nasty on Mythic and Mythic Plus. Yeah, so I interrupted that one. I don't think I tried to pull him with my death grip, but yeah, I tried there just now, and he's immune. So yeah, you do gotta do interrupts on them basically the entire time. I don't know why this totem is by itself. I think it's meant to be that way. So you're just gonna nuke this down, and then we're gonna go kill those 2 mobs over there, and then we're gonna activate the boss. This boss reminds me of the boss from Ashara. He was kind of similar, where he was just standing, casting elemental stuff in the middle of something and not moving. This fight is kind of that same way. I'm pretty sure they took inspiration from that, which I don't really have a problem with, because the Ashara boss was more like water, and this one's more like storm and stuff. So that's pretty cool. And these mobs also remind me of the dudes from like Halls of Stone and Halls of, what was the other one? Halls of something, Storms, I think. Yeah, and they had these elementals there like that. They had the fire, and I think they had the storm one too, or ice elementals. They were pretty fun to kill. Man, I love the Halls of Stone and Storms dungeons. There is a dungeon in Dragonflight called Halls of Infusion, but it's not in the build yet, so I'm really looking forward to doing that one. So here we go. We're gonna fight the boss here, and you do not want to stand where he's standing, because you're gonna be taking damage and basically kill yourself. I made that mistake in earlier dungeons, so you want to stay right outside his little pedestal rock thingy, and just basically, you know, DPS him down as much as you can. And then what's gonna happen is you're gonna get this thing on you, and you just want to stay away from other people when you get bolted. And that's pretty much it. And of course, avoid those storm balls that are around, and they randomly appear or drop from the sky, I should say. And you just kind of run around and try to not get hit by them, or try not to run into them. And they don't move. I don't know what the mythic mechanic is gonna be. Maybe they're gonna be moving, but in here I'm like being an idiot and running into other people's circles. But then I walked out. So yeah, it's not a difficult boss. I mean, again, it's heroic, so it's hard to say. But they do hit pretty hard. You definitely have to have your cooldowns and stuff like that. I would imagine on higher difficulties and whatnot. Maybe on Tyrannical this boss could be difficult, but even then, again, it depends on what the mechanic is. If he summons like a bunch of ads, that might be an issue, but I don't know. For the most part, both of the bosses are so far pretty easy in my personal opinion. So maybe other people might feel different. So now we're gonna go to the third boss here. But yeah, this is really cool that you can just fly around the dungeon like this. It is really nice not having to walk in a dungeon, I'll tell you that much. There's literally no walking here. Like, you only walk from pack to pack, obviously when you land, but you're not traveling like long distances or hallways to get to a pack. You're just traveling like in the area, and usually the packs are a couple of, you know, yards away from you, so it's pretty nice. Okay, so in my opinion, these packs right here are the nastiest ones. So this is like a necromancing place, basically, and I think they're trying to resurrect somebody. So what you need to do is you need to go to each of those things where, you know, this green orb thing is happening, where they're casting something, and take them out. I think there's 3 or 4 of them. So this first pull, I don't know if it goes well. I know that we die here once or twice, and it gets pretty gnarly. So yeah, I'm coming up over here, I guess, to get a taste of the mobs to see how hard they hit, but yeah. So again, this pack you don't really need to clear, but I decided to go there. I don't know why. I just wanted to fight things. And again, maybe on Mythic Plus you are gonna have to kill this extra trash, who knows. But here's the first one, so we're gonna pull them out. I don't think we're gonna have problems with it, this pack. I think it's the next one. So when you pull this one, they all pull together. I think they're a part of it. I think there's a pack that goes around the circle, or around them, and then there's that guy that's at the top, and then I'm totally not holding aggro here. I don't know what's going on. Just being horrible, I guess. But you know, we're nuking them down, and there I taunted him, and they're dead. So that was pretty easy. That was the first one. So now we're gonna go to the next. Yeah, and I death grip this one. Oh, I guess no. Yeah, you can't pull them separately. I was trying to pull them separately, but you can't. So yeah, they get all pulled, and it's like 5 or 6 mobs. So these mobs hit hard. They have nasty casts, and they leave this green shit on the ground that if you stand in, you're gonna die. It kind of reminds me of the mobs from Necrotic Wake, the ones that leave these green dark pools on the floor, like shadowy green pools. And if you guys remember, if you stand those for like even a second, like half of your HP is gonna go away, like almost instantly, and it's pretty nasty. So far we're not really having issues, but there is I don't know if all of these pedal things have this mob that heals himself, but basically what happened was there's a mob in here that puts this glyph on the floor, or a ruin, and it's a very big one, like a very wide one, and if you stand in it and he's siphoning, he's gonna get fully healed back up, and that's gonna kill Keys because, oh, I think we got a double pack here, because he's just healing back up, and it's like, and people are not getting out of their way. That's gonna be an issue. So but I think we manage here for them. Nope, one person died already. I'm trying to stay alive. I don't remember if I die here, but I think we clear these people out. Yeah, the other person just decided to res instantly and fly. And that's another nice thing. If you die, like, during a mob pack, that person could just fly over here. You don't really have to wait for them for a long time. So it probably would be more beneficial for the people to... Yeah, in here I died... Sorry. In here I died because I was tunnel visioning completely, and I died to the green pool of death. But yeah, as I was saying, and someone fat-fingered heroism. Funny stuff. But yeah. So I don't think it's even worth getting rezzed if you're still fighting somebody when you can just release and fly here really quickly. You know what I mean? Obviously, if everyone's, completely dead and then, like mobs are dead and then you need to get rezzed, then that's different. But, not during a pack pull. So this is the mob that decides to stay alive forever, I think. Yeah, it gets really nasty here. They leave a lot of these pulls. You gotta get out of them. I don't know if this pack is different or if we pulled extra, but for some reason, yeah. See, he already healed back up. Oh, it's a named mob. I think it's a named mob. I don't think there's multiple of them in here. Yeah, I think that's what it was. So this mob is very special. He's gonna... Yeah, see, he put the rune down and now he's siphoning life. And I'm like, why is he doing that? Like, and you can't see, you can't stun him. He's immune. You can't death grip him. You can't interrupt it. So you gotta get out of that ruin. Like, that's just the only way to do it. Yeah, and I'm trying to figure out here, like, where is everything coming from? Another person just died. Yeah, and this whole thing is just going to whack, right now. I don't know if we kill him here, or if we wipe and then we kill him, but... Yeah, I don't know where all this crap came from. So, as you guys can see, there's just a lot of stuff on the floor. And I'm trying to move around it. Yeah, and I think on Fortified, this is going to be, like, the hardest pack. But I could be wrong. Who knows? Maybe the Storm guys on Fortified are going to be worse, because those totems do a lot of damage. And yeah, and if you don't drop the Storm Bolt, dudes, you're definitely gonna get killed real quickly. Yeah, there he goes. Look how wide that ruin is. It's insane. So I'm like, okay, well, let's just clear out all the mobs and then nuke him down, because like, people are not... I try to move out, but people are not moving out, so... I mean, she doesn't have a lot of health, but you can imagine on a Fortified plus 15 or higher, these people are gonna have a lot of health, and it's gonna be really nasty, so... You better be having good DP. Yep, there he goes again. And it's just like, okay. Let's try this again, I guess. I don't know. And I tried to move out. By the time I moved out, he already healed back up. So, yeah, it was just annoying. A pretty obnoxious mob. Soul Harvester Kuelama. I don't know how to pronounce that, but... Yeah, see? I'm moving out, but that person is still in there, and he gets healed back up again! I'm telling you, man, this is gonna kill Mythic Keys, for sure. Like, it's just gonna be complete AIDS. But it is what it is, I guess. I think we finally kill her here. And, yeah, she gets wrecked. Or whatever. Alright, there we go. Alright, well, that was fun. And now we're gonna fight the boss, I think? Or there's... No, there's one more we gotta clear. And I'm being a complete dumbass in here. I'm walking into this thinking it's okay. And getting ticked for stupid damage without not realizing it for a while. And I'm like, oh, we gotta go over here, okay. Yeah. So. Do I go to the side here? No, I don't. Alright, so here we go. We're gonna pull this pack here. And I don't think... Yeah, see, each mob here is unique. This is a different Soul Harvester. But I don't know if they also do the healing. I could be wrong. Okay, this thing is casting something in the middle. Oh no, they all siphon life. But this guy's not siphoning life as fast. I'm confused. I don't know. Maybe the other one was bugged. It's weird. Yeah, but this pack we have a lot easier time with than the other one. I'm not sure why. So, yeah. Yeah, I think he's about to go down. Yeah, there he goes. Okay, so everyone's alive. We're finishing off this Risen Warrior. And I think the boss spawns now. So it's like a double boss fight. Yeah, we're gonna go around this pack because we don't need to fight it. See, you could just fly over there instead of me walking like an idiot on a ground mount. But yeah, this is a double fight, whatever, two bosses. I think they share health, I could be wrong. So I'm just trying to get them together. The melee guy, so you want to drag the melee guy from the right to the left because the other one is ranged. And you just sit here and nuke them down, cleave them down, whatever. And yeah, that's and then obviously you want to get out of this purple. I didn't start getting out soon enough, and I got feared. I guess I got dispelled, and then I think she starts casting these tornadoes, so that you gotta dodge, and he does this quaking thing with his spear that you gotta get out of. So I think this boss on Tyrannical is probably gonna be nasty. But other than that, they went down pretty quickly, so yeah, nothing too difficult. Cleave bosses, avoid bad, win, basically. Like, pretty much like everything else. Okay, so for this boss, we're going to the final area. Now, you cannot directly actually fly to the boss room, because what happens is they want you to walk in there on a ground mount. However, what you can do is get close enough to get on the ground mount without getting kicked off. So I'm trying to make sure that I don't get kicked off, because what happens is when you get close, they push you out and knock you away, and that's going to be really bad on Mythic Plus. So I can imagine a lot of keys being ruined because of that, because people don't know where the collision is, where you get kicked out and knocked away from. So I think even in here, me being on a dragon right here, it even tells me that I'm going to get kicked out, and look what happens. I already landed, and it still kicked me out. But yeah, anyway, I skipped that because had a disconnect. So we're walking in here. You guys didn't miss anything, any mobs or anything special like that. We're walking in here now on ground mounts. There's like 3 or 4 packs that we gotta kill, and then we fight the final boss, and that's gonna be the end of the dungeon. But yeah, you know what? I think now that I even talk about this dungeon, I think I do like this dungeon because it's very refreshing. I don't know if it's my favorite. It's just very different. So yeah, I don't think it's a bad dungeon. Again, it might be a bad dungeon for Mythic Plus, but again, it depends on how people run this. I just hope this doesn't turn out to be a dead key because people keep running into the wall that they get kicked off by, or whatever, knocked off by, or they land on mobs instead of landing where the tank is, stuff like that. You can easily land on places you're not supposed to because you're not paying attention. So some mobs here are really nasty, as you guys saw. There's a lot of factors that could be making this dungeon not very Mythic Plus friendly or whatnot. But I think as far as traversal here goes, like if you wipe, you're not really punished much by for the wipes, because you can just easily mount up on your dragon and get back. Obviously, you don't want to die, but my point is that it just doesn't seem as punishing and more forgiving, rather. So I think if you have a decent group and you're able to stay alive and do moderate DPS, I don't think this is going to be that hard of a key. But again, it also depends on the mob percentage and stuff like that. So yeah, these mobs here are pretty easy. I would say easier than the other ones. And then we kill these last 2 named mobs, and then we go fight the boss. Pretty cool boss. I like all the bosses here. I think they did a good job on them. I don't think there's a single boss here that I don't like. I won't tell you this much. This dungeon is much better than Nelthralos. Again, it's still my least favorite dungeon. So yeah. But Nokhud Offensive is... It's a pretty cool... It's a pretty cool dungeon, man. We'll see how it turns out in Mythic Plus. So these things charged, you can't really stun them, so you just gotta get out of the way. They throw spears. I really do like the new Centaur models. I think they look really nice. Alright, so here's the final boss. And yeah. So basically what's gonna happen is you're gonna tank and spank him for a bit. And then you're gonna enter into phase 2, where he wakes up the things that... Where he summons those mobs, or not summon, I mean they already summoned, but he calls for help. Because he's about to get killed. Yeah, so when this happens, you want to DPS him down. And then when they... Yeah, and then he gets shielded. And you want to kill these 2, and then the 2 on the other side. And I don't really know if there's a priority here. I'm just killing this one thing. They're not focused. I don't know why she's not focusing me. Oh no, she's focusing me, okay. But yeah. And, you can interrupt them and stuff like that. And I'm not doing that here. I don't know why. I guess I'm just being stupid. Oh, there, I just did it. Wasn't paying attention. But yeah, everyone can kind of split off here. I don't know how it's going to be for Mythic Plus, but they don't seem to do much. And then there's going to be lightning to avoid after you kill them. And I think tornadoes to avoid too. And he starts to hit pretty hard too. So you want to be a little bit more defensive here and just be cautious of your environment. And I'm not sure what happens here, but I think yeah, he's getting ready to throw a spear there. I think when he throws a spear there, you go with it, unless that's a bug, because that was weird. I charged into the spear, and then he runs you over, I guess. But either way, that's the Nokhud offensive, guys. Thanks so much for watching this tour guide. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like, subscribe, and I will be seeing you soon for more Dragonflight content. Peace out, guys, and have a good one.